Welcome to the It Doesn't Hold Up podcast. We review and reevaluate all things we remember fondly from our childhood and years prior to see if they still hold up. And more often than not, they probably don't. I'm Stuart Shepherd, along with my co-host and good friend Michael Smith. Smith, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Stu. How are you?
I am fantastic. It was a wonderful Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. And I am now finally out of my cast. So yay, out of my cast, out of my splint. I'm halfway there to being human. So all good.
Out of your splint, forever a Vulcan.
Yeah, live long and prosper to you all. Oh, cool. Right. Before we get on to this week's nomination, just wanted to say a little bit of feedback about last episode, which was Santa Claus the movie. And I forgot to mention last episode, that was actually our 10th episode. So a little bit of a milestone for us, 10 episodes. This started as a bit of fun for me and Smith, just something to, have a bit of a laugh with. And it's kind of growing arms and legs and really pleased in the direction it's going in. So, yes, thank you for joining us for over 10 episodes and a very happy new year to all of you. And ready to start 2024 with some more stuff we're going to reevaluate to see if it's still good. And it probably isn't. It probably doesn't hold up.
I would say Happy New Year to everyone, but I didn't mean it. So I'm not going to.
And remember to direct your hate mail to one, Michael Smith.
Please do. Sustains me.
Now, not sure what feedback you got for Santa Claus the movie, but the main ones I got was we've ruined people's childhood, ruined Christmas for many, many, many people. People, people liked our John Lithgow impressions. And two people messaged me, went, "Oh shit, yeah, Dave Hedgehog is in that film." Oh, that's hilarious.
Well, one of the pieces of feedback I got for it was, what fucking film? Santa Claus movie. They were like, what?
Yeah, there are some people who know this film and really know it, and there are some people who have no idea. Like, oh, the one with Tim Allen. No, that's the Santa Claus. This is Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus
the
2,
movie.
or the Santa Claus 3, or the new TV series, The Santa Clauses.
Oh, I thought that was
I've not seen. Oh, this is for TV series, I think.
Oh, was it? Oh, who cares?
Yeah, I've never seen any of them.
Well, there you go. But yes, that was Santa Claus the movie. That was our last episode of 2023, and we're ready to start 2024 with this episode's nomination, which came from me, which is Willow. Willow from 1988. Brief synopsis before Smith goes into his scene setting. It is a story of Willow, a Nelwyn race person who ends up entrusting to look after this baby, Alora, because she's the prophet and chosen one to bring down the evil Balmorva. Yes, go on.
I'm going to have to stop you there. The Princess Alora Dannon. Her full name must be said at all times by everyone.
Fine, Alora Dannon. A lot of my notes just say the baby, because I was getting fed up of writing Alora Dannon. So there you go. It's a fantasy adventure protecting the baby, Alora Dannon. Right then. So let's see. 1988. What was going on in 1988, Smith? Take it away.
1988. Well, I don't have that much scene setting for 1988. It wasn't a particularly interesting year.
Sure.
Things that happened in 1998. We've got George Bush becomes the president of the United States of America. George Bush Senior, that is not George Bush Junior. That would come much later. In a piece of a scientific development, which I can only sort of put on a par with the pointlessness of this film, the first test tube quintuplets are born. Unnecessary leap forward there. No one needs quintuplets, let alone artificial quintuplets. The first Red Nose Day started here in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody outside the UK, Red Nose Day is a special charity event once a year where comedians band together to be deeply unfunny.
Every 2 years.
Was it every 2 years?
Yeah, so thankfully people are only unfunny every 2 years. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it feels more frequent. Roy Orbison died, singer of Pretty Woman. I know.
Drove all night.
And he did drive all night. And it was the year of the infamous Lockerbie bombing. So that's cheerful. Would you like to guess what was the number one single that was in the UK charts when Willow came out in December of 1988?
Oh, of course, yeah. It's another December Christmas movie. I would say... wasn't like another version of Band-Aid, like Band-Aid 2 or something like that, was it?
It's a bit too soon to be Band-Aid 2. Band-Aid 1 hadn't come out too soon before.
Yeah, I think Band-Aid 2 might have been 89, actually.
It was a Christmas song.
Okay.
It was Mistletoe and Wine.
Oh, I hate
Cliff
that song.
Richard.
I hate that song.
Terrible.
There's so many better Christmas songs. That one's awful. Ugh.
It's pretty bad, isn't it? So this came out in December of 1988. Would you like me to go into the budget and positioning in the charts of the year now, or should we leave that till later?
Oh, I'll let you be the judge. What do you think?
I'll do it now. It ended up on a budget of 35 million, grossing somewhere in the region of 137 million. Now, I say that because the non-US based revenues at cinema weren't particularly tracked for this film.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit unsure as to how well it actually did. And a lot of that would be down to its future home video sales, where it did very well around the world. That placed it number 12 in the year's cinema releases. The top five, and let's see if you can see the odd man out here. Right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Top
Sure.
five films for 1988 box office: Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Naturally.
Coming to America,
Mm.
Good Morning Vietnam,
Never seen that.
Big,
I love Big.
and Crocodile Dundee 2.
Oh God. Oh,
This was the Australia mania that America was going through at the time.
I don't even think I've seen the second one. I think I've only seen the first one.
I'm sure I've seen both of them, but they kind of just meld into one
Yeah,
film.
totally.
I have absolutely no concept of them being two different movies.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That was your scene setting, or have you got anything
Scene
else?
setting. No, that's it. That is a scene setting. It is 1988. Hair is big, shoulder pads are bigger. And sword and sorcery fantasy epics have been dying on their ass at the box office. Will this be any different?
We shall see. So, if this came out in 1988, I would have been just turned 4. You would have been 3 and a bit. So, how did you see this? Did you see this at the cinema? I was way too young, or was it years later?
Television.
Television. Okay.
Television. I definitely saw this on television. I have very fond memories of watching it in my living room as a child on a Saturday night. I think just before Gladiators was on.
Okay. So it must
Likely
have been
would
early
take
90s then. Yeah.
Yeah, early 90s. Yeah, so it would have been if I recall, and I might just be conflating memories. I have a memory of watching this followed by Gladiators all the other way around, and KFC was involved.
Well, naturally you'd remember that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's a classic Saturday night in a childhood, Smith's childhood. KFC movie, men in latex pretending to fight.
Sounds perfect.
It's either wrestling or gladiators. Either way, I'm watching it.
Sounds like a good night to me. So, what was I? Do you know what? I'm a bit confused where I saw this. I think this was another instance of my parents renting this out the video shop, but I think this came from the same off license we got Tango and Cash from, because I think it might.
You and that off license.
Yeah, I know.
Tango, Cash, Willow.
Oh, and the other one I forgot to mention when I said about those inappropriate movies my dad rented was RoboCop. Was another one. Watch that to death.
Yeah, my aunt rented me RoboCop when I was about 6.
Oops. Loved it. Didn't traumatize
Oh, it's got a robot cop in it. It'd be for kids.
Yeah, he's shooting people and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, so I think I was about 6 or so. So I think I probably watched it a couple of years after it came out. I think I must have watched it around about 1990 or so, probably school holidays. Remember watching it and enjoying it, but I've got very fond memories of the trailer because I think you had this as well. There was a video that had Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 on it, and in between it had a load of classic trailers on there. It had like Short Circuit on there, Baron Munchausen, and one of them was Willow. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yes, I did have that.
Yeah, and I have very fond memories of that trailer because there's a bit with later on when Val Kilmer like, picks him up, puts him on his shoulders, and they're on the snow, the sled and all that. And I remember all that just from the trailer. So I remember more of the trailer than I do the movie.
I'm derailing us completely here, but did that that double VHS of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 not also have a couple of episodes of black and white Batman randomly in the middle?
It's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, like just fast forward through them when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's really annoying because you watch Ghostbusters 1, yeah, I want to watch Ghostbusters 2. Oh, okay, 40 minutes. Fast forward that. Not like now.
That tape must have been huge.
Yeah, at least 4 hours, I think, 4 and a bit. But yeah,
I want to watch Ghostbusters 2. I'm sort of disappointed.
But this
is the same film again.
But this is also back in the day when I loved watching videos, home rentals, because you got all the trailers and they were fun and they were interesting, and then you could see other shit you could rent out.
You got that bloke with the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses going, "This is rated 18." An 18 certificate means it's only suitable for people aged 18 and over.
Yeah, I never got the point of that. As you say, like, if you rent this out, you'll break the law, or just be advised, if you show your kids this, you're bad parents. So I never really understood what
and I'd be watching it going, I think they've cast their die, mate.
But we digress. Anyway. Well, okay, so you watched it on telly in the early 90s. I think I watched it really early 90s on a rental. I think maybe I might have watched it again on telly, but yeah, it's not something I've watched often. And then I watched it a couple of days ago with my wife, and it generally has been the last I've watched it like what 30 odd years or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen this since I was a child. It's never come around. And I think it's either because it's been hard to get hold of, or
Mm.
if it's not been hard to get hold of, it's just something that hasn't ever occurred to me as one of those films that made that transition from childhood favorite into adult favorite. And I think that's because the ones that made that transition for me were generally not kids' films.
Oh yeah, like
It's
RoboCop.
like, Predator. It's like, oh yeah, I like Predator when I was a kid. Now I like it as an adult. It stands the test of time. It's like, no, you should never have been watching it.
I mean, fair.
Yeah, but but then again, there are other examples like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is a kids' film
Mm.
to a degree, that did make that transition quite happily from
Yeah,
childhood to adulthood. Yeah,
true. And we won't be covering Roger Rabbit because we know it holds up. We know
that
it's
is
awesome.
fucking awesome. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
we're not
it's really
not
good.
covering that. It's a great film. I want to watch it, but
Yeah, it's very good. Anyway, shall we delve into the plot?
yes, let's.
Cool. Well, you're gonna have to keep your sensible, Smith, because there's a lot of what in this film. Like I think I've captured everything, but there is a lot of shit going
A
on.
point in my notes I've just written, and then the boobly boo man goes to the dingly dungly forest to capture the bibbly bubbly elves or something, some
Yeah,
shit like that.
I'm gonna butcher whatever race these people are or species or whatever, but I'm gonna try my best. So, anyway, cool. So
That what
credits
though
roll.
you just have to remember they're not hobbits.
They are definitely not hobbits and not from the Shire.
No,
No,
not the Shire.
not at all. Anyway, right. So we begin, and we are told through introductory text that it's a time of dread, and the evil, the evil
Not
sorceress,
Dread.
not dread, the evil sorceress queen. I'm going to try and pronounce it. Bavmorda of Nockmar. She's heard a prophecy that a child with a special.
It's already started.
It's already confusing.
Bavmorda of Noctar.
It's just
Fuck is
some,
that?
I know it's some Game of Thrones shit. Anyway, so Queen Bavmorda of Nockmar, she hears of a prophecy that a child bearing a certain birthmark will bring about her downfall. So then, as a preventive measure, she's captured all the pregnant women, I assume, who lived near the castle, or is it just throughout the land? She's just taken them all, but
Whoever's there, whoever
yeah,
she could grab on. So this is where already where you problem start with this film, right? Because you're watching this and it's this is the scene setting, but it's not really going into enough detail. Like, what kingdom does she rule?
yeah,
Where is she? What's happening? What is this prophecy? What does it mean? What does it actually entail? I tell you, some people love the Lord of the Rings films, some people don't love the Lord of the Rings films. I love the Lord of the Rings films. We say what we want about them. That scene setting in the first 5 minutes of Lord of the Rings tells you everything you need
yeah,
to know about how you've got over hundreds of years of history. That provides you with a map of the world so you know where you are, and it brings you up to speed in a way that makes all of this stuff that's otherwise impenetrable very easy to understand. You don't get that here. You get Bavmorda of Nockbar, and then here's a bunch of women.
yeah. It's like this baby is gonna like overthrow her. How? Why? By whom? Yeah, it's so. Yeah, okay, fine.
Doesn't get any clearer.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. So yeah, the queen's kidnapped all these women. She's checking if the babies, once they're born, have got the birthmark. And then one child that does have the birthmark, before the queen can find it, she gives it to the midwife to smuggle it out. So she just walks out, no problem. No one questions this at all.
They've been there going, right, we found this baby. That's brilliant. We're going to go and get the prophecy sorted. Right, let us leave all the doors unlocked.
Yeah.
And this midwife, who has up till this point been quite down with my evil schemes, will have a change of heart when it actually comes down to the business end of murdering a bunch of babies.
Yeah, totally. But once she realised the mother of the chosen child has lied to her, she just says, kill her. And that's the last we see of her. So there you go. Yeah, so then we see shots of the midwife walking far and wide with the baby through snow, through lakes, through woods. I mean, cinematography is fantastic in this film.
Cinematography is fantastic. It's filmed mainly in Wales and New Zealand, I believe, and so it looks absolutely beautiful. And a little bit around Skywalker Ranch where they had to do reshoots.
Yeah.
That baby would be dead.
Yeah.
You cannot take a baby through -0 temperatures without it severely dying.
I don't know. Maybe it's a magical land where people, are immune to this sort of shit.
Well, it is a magical land. I'll give them that. It is presented as such.
But this is what I also had trouble with. So the shot we get with the baby, it's quite young, newborn, and then has the midwife been walking for months? Because the next shots you get, the baby's got hair, right? And then also what are these dogs called? I've just written down wild boars because
they call them that they're dogs. They call them dogs.
They call them the dogs. I thought they had a proper name. It was something.
They don't look like
The
They look like that.
Knockmore Hounds, they're called. The
Yeah.
Knockmore
Oh,
Hounds.
the Knockmore Hounds. So the hounds. But they
That's
don't look
it.
like dogs. They look like pigs. They look
Well,
like someone's put a pig costume on a dog,
well, apparently
which
that's
is
what it
what they
was. The
did. Yeah.
Rottweilers were
Rottweilers.
costumes on it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going into your Smith trivia. But yeah,
That's
so
not trivia. That's just interesting. That's just cruelty to animals.
it is. I'm surprised half of them didn't just try and take it off because my dog would have done that back in the day if I'd put something on its head. But anyway, so these dogs have been hot on the midwife's trail for months, presumably, because the baby's aged quite a bit from right at the start of
They're,
film to this
they're
point.
pretty dogged.
Please send your hate mail to one Michael Smith.
Yes, do.
So at this point, the midwife realizes, look, these dogs are going to kill me. At least I can save the baby. So not like Moses at
Not like
all.
Moses. This isn't like the Bible. New.
This is nowhere like the Bible. The midwife sets the baby adrift on a tuft of dirt, I guess, and grass, and just pushes it down the river. You know,
Again,
that'll be fine.
Yeah, may I get mad? Baby will be dead.
Totally.
Baby's gonna drown.
Yeah, we see lots of shots later on of how vicious that water is, and massive waterfalls and shit. Oh no, it's just going to gently glide along until someone finds it. The hounds arrive and proceed to maul the midwife to death. That's the last we see of her as well.
Yep, that's 2 people dead in the first 5 minutes. Pretty dark opening.
Dark shit. Then we get some nice shots of the baby floating down the river with credits and not Lord of the Rings music. Not Lord of the Rings music.
No. Well, this is pre Lord of the Rings. You can't blame them on the music.
I don't know. They've been
James
cartoons
Horner.
of it. Yes,
Yeah.
very very good composer. And in fact, no, actually, no. I'm going to stop saying shit because it might go into your Smith trivia. Anyway, so down
I
the
will
river.
say I have nothing about James Horner. So if you want to say something about James Horner, you go to town.
Oh, the one bit of trivia I heard was this tune, the dun, 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 that you keep hearing. That's been used in a lot of trailers for movies. And someone said there was an early trailer for Jurassic Park that had this tune. I was like, that doesn't fit at all.
Doesn't fit at all. I think that person might be talking absolute shit.
Perhaps. Right. So then eventually the baby floats down the river and it arrives in the Shire. Oh, sorry. The Nelwyn.
Nelwynshire.
Nelwyn Shire, which is where
Actually, that's just a place in Wales where they filmed it. It's just called Nelwyn, and they didn't bother changing it.
there you go.
I made that up.
No, well, it's plausible, but yeah, it's like most things you say, it's probably shit. Anyway, so they get to the Nelwyn village where the Nelwyn people live, and they are preparing for a festival. And then we see the baby is discovered by 2 children who turn out to be Willow. Willow, what's his name?
Offgood.
Willow Offgood and his 2 children have found the baby in the river. Now, keeping in mind, Warwick Davis was 17 when he made this movie. These children are clearly about 7 and 6. This speaks volumes.
Well, we're talking about sort of an old pre-industrial revolution farming community. The life expectancy would be roughly around about 23 to 24 years. So children would have been made much earlier.
Perhaps.
Again, I've just made that
up. Then we see Willow's being hounded by. Is this guy supposed to be a landlord or is he just a local bully? Like I couldn't work out what this guy's supposed to be because Willow is a farmer, a pig farmer by the looks of things.
The mayor? I thought it was like the mayor or something.
Well, he comes over and starts giving him shit about his land and seeds, what seeds are you using, and this sort of stuff. Just not very nice.
Awful lot of talk about seeds in this fantasy film. So the first 5 minutes is around seed trading.
Yeah, it's odd. But then the children are all like, oh, Dada, come see what we found. And they found the baby in the river. And they're like, oh, can we keep it? Isn't it cute? And he's like, no, fuck it. Let's push it down the stream and pretend we never saw it. And then nobody is to fall in love with this. 2 minutes later,
yeah,
all is well.
He falls in love with that kid real quick. It's like 5 minutes later, like, do you have love for this child? Yes. That's weird. Just met the kid.
Literally, like half an hour ago, you've met this kid.
I've known people for years. Have you got love for them? No.
Certainly not.
Certainly not. They can go on their own bloody quest.
And then it's inside his very Yoda-looking house. We meet his wife, Kaya, and she's like, oh, yeah, let's keep this baby. Let's love it. Why? You've already got 2 kids of your own. You can't make much money being a pig farmer. Why would you also take an additional child in?
Additional child who's going to grow to be taller than your house will allow.
Yeah, the house will destruct. Oh,
I just like at this point around Warwick Davis. What accent is he doing?
Yes, I wrote that down as well. Warwick Davis is very, very English in real life, and he's doing some weird American English shit. It's terrible.
But she's not. She's British.
English. Yeah,
she's British. The kids are American. He's somewhere in between. I don't know why he's bothering. I don't know why he's doing it. It's so weird. It's like a weird choice, but they've said.
Yeah, I always remember him being English from memory. So when I was watching, I was like, why is he doing this accent? So I don't know.
Because he can't do it either, so he should stop. I mean, I'd argue his acting altogether is a bit
Appalling.
rosy.
Well, things
He's not very good.
I've always remembered Warwick Davis being a pretty decent actor, especially in later stuff. And I'm like, why is he so fucking bad in this? But I guess this is his first proper film because Return of the Jedi just up like a big bear.
I always remember him being pretty shit in everything I've ever seen him in.
Maybe he's
so
just
maybe life is short.
Yeah,
Probably than that.
Yeah, that is funny. Oh, but anyway, so Willow's getting himself in a bit of a state because he's going off to do some shit magic at that festival. And he's in a bit of a state because he wants to be picked as the next apprentice of Gwildor. Sorry, not Gwildor, the High Aldwin. Not Master of the Universe.
Gwildor.
Yeah, so he wants to be the new apprentice of the High Aldwin, who's get like the Gandalf of this village that they live in. And
he's like the Christmas elf. He's like the Burgess Meredith of this film.
Yeah, somewhere in between Gandalf and Burgess Meredith. But yeah. So yeah, he goes to that festival and he's doing a bunch of magic tricks. This festival looked quite fun. There's people dancing around and there's good food and a good time. And he's doing these really amateur looking tricks. Although I still don't know how he did that one with the stick with a flame that he put through his arm. I was like, oh, how have you done that? Unless you've just moved your arm and put it up and hope it didn't set you on fire. But yeah. And then he does a trick where he makes a pig disappear, and it kind of does, but then the pig runs out. There was, you're a fraud.
Well, yeah. Hadn't actually made a pig disappear. What do you think he's doing?
Stupid.
I wonder if that will come back at any point towards the end.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of pig in this film, and one particular scene which we'll come to. Anyway, and then this makes no sense. So the High Aldwin is going to pick his apprentice, right? And instead of doing something a bit more elaborate, he literally plays pull my finger with the villager. Which finger has the magic? What? How is that a test of being a sorcerer, picking what finger has the magic in it?
Also, as a system of deciding your apprentice is deeply flawed. Whoever goes first has a much better chance, or a much worse chance, depending how you look at it. If he picks the right one, then the other two don't even get a shot at it.
Yeah.
How's that fair?
No, they might be wrong for the job. It's purely a game of chance. But yeah. Well, anyway.
Pinky.
Yeah. Willow has a go at it last. You think he might have done it, and he hasn't. So there will be no apprentice this year. Oh, never mind.
I mean, this means he's going to have to do all his own dirty work. Apprentice just does all the cleaning up after him. He's going to do his own cleaning up and making his own potions.
Oh, yeah,
he doesn't know what an apprentice is for.
Yeah, it seems like a chore to appoint an apprentice. So you're missing the point here, Gwildor. You're totally missing the point. Anyway, at this point, is it one wild boar or a few of them? But anyway,
it's two, I think.
Two, I think, yeah. So some wild boars turn up, start fucking shit up, but they're quickly killed by the villagers with the spears. I'm like, yeah. They kill it instantly, and then they have a town meeting about this, and then they start saying, why have these boars come here? And then Willow decides to show the baby to them. Why? Why are you doing this? That must have been what they were coming for. Why? Why was
Billy Barty knows. I mean, fuck knows how he knows, but he knows.
Well, I mean, he's Gwildor, so why wouldn't he know? But why couldn't they just been a pack of dogs who just happened to run in because they're wild dogs? Why were they specifically after something?
Oh no, they were the Knockmore hounds.
Oh, I guess they know about them because of the Queen. So they're like,
they're still trying to find the baby. I mean, frankly, if I was the Queen, I'd be working on the assumption that the baby had died of exposure by this point.
I don't know whether yeah, perhaps. I don't know. That's something that's never really explained either.
It's never really explained what the Queen wants the baby for.
Yeah, well, no, to do this ritual. Why should he do this
ritual? The ritual is never explained either. Just to smack its head off a rock.
Well, that's what I thought. Why
babies are notoriously easy to kill. They don't fight back.
Please
pick it up by the feet, swing it at the wall.
Yes. Hate mail to one, Michael Smith. Anyway, so after they just decide that that's what the hounds are after, the baby, the High Aldwin is going to decide via a bag of bones what to do with it. What the fuck does this even mean? Why didn't he just say to him, just get rid of it? Well, you just take it out of this village. It's a danger.
It's to the point where, the bones have fallen a certain way. Well, we're eating the baby. Baby's dinner. That's what the bones are telling me. I don't know what the bones are telling you. Not what bones telling me, Billy Barty.
So weird. But they decide that the most kind and easiest thing to do is to take it where there are, I've written this down, Daikini, which is basically humans, so non-little people, yeah. Daikini. So he even though the High Aldwin has told Willow, "You won't be my apprentice," he starts blowing smoke up his arse, saying, "Oh, you could be a great sorcerer." And even though his magic show earlier on was awful, he didn't pick him. And he's like, "Yes, you should be the one who should take the baby to the Daikini." I was like, "You're massively contradicting yourself, mate." Or maybe they just wanted to get rid of Willow. Just get out of
He's
here.
also a bit of a charlatan as well, because he says, "I'll consult the bones. The bones tell me nothing. What do you think we should do?" I don't. They're just bones. I got them off a dead man's hand that I found in a bush. They don't really tell me much. I use them as a toothpick.
Bloody charlatans. And then the High Aldwin gives Willow some acorns that turn things to stones. Like, these might prove useful later. Spoiler alert, they don't.
No, they don't. They don't.
Shit.
Thing is, I had this memory of them proving useful, but no, they do not prove useful. Yeah, and his little mate decides to come with him.
Migosh.
Migosh, who looked exactly like the lead singer of Dexy's Midnight Runners.
I mean, perhaps it was. Who knows? Yeah, and then Migosh happily wants to go. Then a bunch of people, like that arsehole landlord we saw it on, he gets volunteered to go. So
Burgle cut.
Yeah, whole bunch of them get volunteered to go, and off they're going to go on a magical adventure. Not the Hobbit. Not the Hobbit.
Not the Hobbit. Not the Hobbit. And the one who's their best swordsman, he looks exactly like John Oates from Hall & Oates.
He does. Oh, and then the background is Tony Cox from
Yes,
Bad Santa.
yeah, I noticed that.
Shit.
Yeah. So you got Bad Santa, you got John Oates, and you've got the lead singer of Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Now that's a fellowship.
All off on an adventure. Now that is a fellowship of a ring. Don't ask which one.
Yeah, but no, they all decide, off we go. We're going to go take this baby out of here and give it some humans and make it their problem. And then we get a shot where Willow's kids are really trying to shit him up about like trolls and stuff like that, and other stuff he's going to encounter. I was like, wait, why are you saying all this to him?
And he's like, "I hate trolls. I hope I don't find a troll." He's like, "You're definitely finding a troll. Although not by any troll I've ever seen in any sort of fantasy before in my life."
Yeah, that was the laziest troll I've ever seen in my life. But yeah. Then Willow says goodbye to his wife Kaya. She gives him some hair for some reason. I was like, this doesn't even come back. Apart from one point, he just looks at it later on. It's like, it's not like it was magic hair.
I've cut off quite a lot of my hair.
What do you do that for?
I'd be like, well, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Stupid.
I don't want to carry this around. I'm putting this in the bin.
Some manky old hair with me.
Yeah, horrible. Anyway, so we get some shots of the Fellowship going off, and they're walking past. Again, wonderful cinematography, waterfalls, fields, all that sort of thing. All looks.
I did write here, it's like the Lord of the Rings if the Lord of the Rings were a bit shit.
Yeah, discount Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Then what happens? Oh yeah, and then because that horrible bastard landlord's with him, the baby decides to puke all over it, and I've written down, good. I did not like this guy. He was very mean although.
What I've written down here is this is all very like it falls into the trap that a lot of fantasy films fall into, is that it's very over earnest.
Yeah.
Everything with Willow in particular is very over earnest. Everything he says is important. Everything he says is heartfelt. Everything he says is saccharine, and everything he says makes me want to smack him in the teeth.
He's so whiny. Like he's like, you are not a likable character. Oh no, why are we doing this? Shut up!
No, you can't put the baby down. I'm carrying the baby. Tell the baby to be quiet. The baby needs feeding. Oh, shut the fuck up about the baby. Good Lord, my man. What are you doing?
No wonder your village wanted to get rid of you.
Well, yeah, and it's all just very and all of this stuff is a problem with the pacing of the film. The film is very badly paced, like it's very badly structured, and all of this stuff with the little fellowship that they're collecting to go off on their walk is completely pointless. Like it's completely pointless. All of this arguing about who goes and then selecting who goes and then them walking around the forest for 15 minutes. It has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't lead anywhere.
No, they should have literally just sent Willow off maybe with Migosh, and that's it. So
yeah.
Anyway, so after that, back at the castle, Bavmorda sends her daughter Sorsha and General Skeletor, Kale, sorry, General Kale.
General not Skeletor.
General not Skeletor, General Kale.
Named after a plant of the Brassica family.
Yeah.
Nothing that frightens me more than it's something that I had for dinner last night.
Oh,
ooh.
Clearly. So they say, go bring the baby back and bring it back to her so she can do the ritual. Why she doesn't say, look, when you find out baby, kill it. Why bring it back for this fucking ritual? This ritual's about freeing its soul into the Netherlands or some rubbish
where it
like
can't
that.
come back. It's like it's a baby. I mean, even if its soul gets reincarnated into a new baby, you've bought yourself 18 months.
Yeah.
Well, you have to worry about that shit again. I am. There's a bit where she's talking about the sorcerers, and one of the sorcerers like the baby of the prophecy, the one that can destroy you. It's like, thank you for reminding us of the plot. We hadn't forgotten because it's been said a million times. You don't need to keep reminding us.
And it will continue to be reminded throughout. And then during this conversation, I put, is that Gary Oldman standing with the Queen? So you're very Gary Oldman looking like what I mean, it's not. It's not Gary Oldman. Oh, then what? Yeah, and then what you said about the pointless bit in the woods. Then we just get like shots of like Kale's army and the boars running around and them hiding. It's like, this is very Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah,
this is like the Riders, you know?
Yeah, and this is the bit where the two of the guys like, they couldn't have got far. Should we just check over here? No. Let's not.
And also, just going back to earlier, why were the hounds in Nelwyn? Why? Are they just searching absolutely everywhere, hoping they'll find the baby?
Running around like a headless chicken, trying to find a baby to eat. We've all been there.
We have. We get more Fellowship of the Ring shots and musical score. And at this point is when we meet Val Kilmer's character, Mad Martigan. And he's in a cage for some reason that isn't really explained. I've read stuff that apparently he nicked something, but it's not really explained.
They call him
why
a
he's in there.
thief later on.
Yeah.
In the scene in the tavern, they call him a thief. And then Willow's like, you're not really a thief. Are you? And it's like, oh, gives a shit. He's helped you up to this point. He's going to keep helping you. Gives if he's a thief. Don't be so judgy, you prick.
What an arsehole.
I'm jumping ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But apparently there was some more lore about his character and later on Saoirse and stuff like that. But it's so vague. I'm like, who is this guy? Why has he been put there? Why is he a swordsman? Where's he come? What does he stand for? We don't learn anything about it.
For a film over 2 hours long that feels over 2 hours long, it does a very bad job of explaining what's going on. It just repeats the same bits of information again and again.
Yeah.
It's like, you could just tell us something new.
Yeah, they don't.
Or give us a little bit of character development.
But they don't. They don't. We learn very little about all of these characters. But yes, Mad Martigan is in a cage. He starts being an arsehole to Willow starts calling him Peck, which I can only assume is a horrible slur for little people. And he's demanding water and or to be freed. Like, which one is it? Do you want the water or do you want to be freed? Like, what is it?
It's funny as well because it's the crossroads where they get to the crossroads, and this was the Grand Nelwyn or the whatever his name was, Billy Bartley.
Yeah.
Gwildor. So what Gwildor had told them was you have to take the baby to the crossroads.
That's right.
Crossroads. He doesn't tell them what to do with the baby once they get to the crossroads. So they get there, and there's Mad Martigan in a cage, and they just wait for someone to come along.
Yeah, some humans.
I've got a baby. You have it. I don't want to.
Which is essentially what happens. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, because at this point, Willow is getting annoyed with Mad Martigan and he threatens him with an acorn, but he doesn't actually do anything. He just loses his bottle. He's like, I don't want to waste it. And just puts it away. And then Willow's villagers at this point go, oh, fuck this. Let's just leave him. Well, it was well fun apart from me. Gosh, I'll stay.
Bogle cuts up. Right, I'm off. Why are you here? What is this? Why are these characters? They don't even get a comeuppance.
Nothing.
They don't even die. Nothing happens.
Yeah, when they went back to the village, why didn't the High Aldwin say, "Hey, what are you doing back?
Wait, back
you go.
You go.
Yes. Can't leave him like that.
You had a job. You're still on the clock, boys.
Oh, but there's just an awful lot of them standing around talking to Mad Martigan rather than just getting up and walking. But it makes more sense though. You said they're just waiting there at the crossroads for something to come along.
Yeah, they go to bed and they wake up and they talk some more.
And then at this point, Mad Martigan's saying, "Oh look, if you give me the baby and you free me, it will be my problem and I'll look after it." And Willow's being all like, "Not sure." And then I think it's at this point we get an army of dudes come along, and one of them is Ek. Yeah. Ek. Who Mad Martigan knows, but it isn't really elaborated how they know each other. Did they serve in the same army? Did the same family? Like
this is explored in more detail in the novelization. I've got some bits about. There's some character stuff that gets fleshed out for Mad Martigan in the novelization.
Got you. And then Willow says to Ek, "Can you take the baby?" He's like, "No, Peck. Like we're going to fight a war. Give it to a woman." Wow.
Yeah,
chivalry is dead.
Yeah, I wrote that down as well. It's like, yeah, But also, what's Willow trying to do? Like, oh, hello, bunch of men going to war. Please take this baby. I'm sure it will be safe on a battlefield.
Yeah. So then finally, after all this sodding about, Willow and Migos finally free Mad Martigan. And then at this point, he takes the baby and walks off. And I'm like, I'm still not getting, why are you trusting the baby with this man? He's in a cage, all right? He's tried to kill Willow, all right? The army of people walking by didn't want to free him, so why they've decided to free him and give this baby, I don't know. But for whatever reason, they're like, right, there's the baby, off you go, not our problem anymore.
No, people didn't want to free him, and one of them was his mate, and he was like, ha 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 ha, enjoy your cage. All right. Dick.
There you go. But yeah, off he goes. And then the next shot we get, Migos and Willow sure are proud of themselves. They give the baby to the like, oh, we did a good deed. Off we go. No, you didn't. You gave him to a potential maniac.
You give him to a man in a cage, and I don't know much, but I know you don't give babies to men in cages.
Absolutely not. And then, oh my God, this bit. From now on, he's just going to annoy the piss out of me. So the way home, they meet those annoying shit borrowers, sorry, brownies, and he'll be present for the rest of the film. So they start firing arrows at them, I think, and then they come swooping in because they've stolen baby Laura Dannon on an eagle, and they've nicked that presumably from Mad Martigan for some reason. And then, yeah, and at this point, that's when Willow and Migos fall into a trap, like a bear trap. They're tied up like Gulliver's Travels.
I've written that down. Gulliver's Travels.
How many more movies do you want to rip off on books?
I mean, look, George Lucas has a track record of ripping stuff off, right? Like Star Wars is just a hodgepodge of westerns and samurai films in space. He's done that here as well. He's just ripped off a bunch of other stuff.
He's ripped off his own movies. It's like Star Wars.
It is Star Wars,
around about, but yeah.
I mean, Mad Martigan or not Han Solo.
Yeah, he's basically Han Solo. So yeah, they're dragged off by the borrowers, sorry, the brownies, and then we then see Tinkerbell fairies flying around. One of them kisses Willow on the nose, and then that's when we're greeted by the fairy queen. Hang on, I'm going to pronounce Shalindria, I think her name is.
This bit, I didn't remember any of this bit from when I was a kid, but like the effects are terrible. Like just this gormless-looking woman lit up in orange.
Yeah, then we get this whole thing where like she explains that it's baby Laura Dannon and she's the foretold princess. I'm gonna have to pronounce Ter Asleen, and then she gives Willow this magic wand and says you need to go find Finn Raziel, who's an aging enchantress, and the baby somehow understands everything that's going on, and she's chosen Willow to be her protector and guardian. Like, even though he's just given her to Mad Martigan, why would she then choose him to do this?
So what I've written down here is, take my wand to the sorcerer Bingley Bong, who will lead you to the kingdom of Boobly Boo. That is all this is. It's just word soup. It's just like, what is this woman going on about?
Yeah, and I couldn't work out, am I missing a trick? Am I being thick? Or is it just really poorly explained?
Very poorly explained. There's also, oh, here, take my wand. Ah, you're going to teach me how to use it? No. You'll figure it out.
And I couldn't work this out earlier on. Like, is Willow supposed to be a magician or is he supposed to be a sorcerer? Because those tricks he were doing were not sorcery tricks; they were magic tricks, fake.
Yeah.
So like, make your mind up. What are you? Are you a magician or are you a sorcerer? What are you?
And take this comic relief with you while you go.
Oh God!
Unnecessary comic relief.
And you notice how no one pays any attention to them.
Well, no, because they're not there. The trial run of Jar Jar Binks is like, we don't need you. You're just going to be annoying.
No,
I mean, I guarantee you, George Lucas saw this film when it finished. Went, yeah, could have done with more brownies. I've got an idea. Oh no, sorry, it's George Lucas. Yeah, I've got an idea. Really could have done with some more brownies.
Surprised he hasn't gone back and tinkered with it like he has for Star Wars. There's multiple different versions of this movie.
I've made Willow 6'1". That was how it was always supposed to be.
We always wanted Imperial droids in the background.
Yeah.
Anyway, so at this point, Willow sends Migos home with his blessing, and he continues on the journey with the two brownies, borrowers, brownies, whatever.
Migos, again, completely pointless character. Why was he there? He didn't do anything.
He's supposed to be like a Samwise Gamgee or something, but he doesn't really do anything.
You could have killed him to raise the stakes and show that actually people could die in this world, because nobody dies. Nobody important dies.
No.
Oh, except Ick.
Ick. Oh, yeah, that bit's quite good, though, later on. Anyway, spoiler alert. Right, so these two brownies are called Frangian and Rule, And yes, those you mentioned, they are beyond fucking annoying, even though one of them is played by Kevin Pollak. I was like, hey,
Kevin Pollock,
Kevin
yeah, from the
Pollak!
usual, from the usual suspects. Like, oh, he went on to do better stuff.
Much better stuff. Yeah, Kevin Pollak being incredibly annoying and wearing a dead mouse's head as a hat, which is weird. Um, yeah, then we get, as you mentioned, so Willow then goes to a tavern because he's looking for milk for the baby. But as usual, he's treated like shit. Has to go hide in a corner by everyone. Get out of it, Peck. Why is everyone so horrible to little people in this film?
They got any milk for a baby? Babies? I hate babies. Get out of it, you.
The brownies start being all cool to some women in the tavern. Go, oh, look at us. What the fuck? And then for some reason they're carrying around love potion with
Yeah,
them.
I've read this. Why do they have it?
It's a bit like in Santa Claus with the fairy dust that makes you fly. But yeah, why have they got love potion? And then the Kevin Pollak character gets hit with it and then starts fancying a cat for some reason. It's like, this doesn't make any sense. And this rule only makes sense when it wants to make sense. Even though he got hit with that dust and was right there next to Willow, he doesn't start fancying Willow. It's only then when he sees the cat. And this
In
comes
the
back
same
later.
way that, yeah, it's the same thing happens later. And maybe it's just saying that Willow is unlovable.
Yeah,
I'd rather have sex with a cat than even consider Warwick Davis.
Or Warwick Davis. Oh god. Yeah, and at this point, Willow re-encounters Mad Martigan because he's dressed as a woman. Because that's hilarious, just like we've seen in other movies that we've
Tango
covered.
and Cash.
Tango and Cash. God, well, there was something else we covered with someone dressed as a woman. It's so hilarious, but it's not. Anyway, doesn't matter.
I mean, they use this in loads of films. In Wild Wild West, they're still using it like 15 years later or however long. Yeah.
No comical. So yeah, so Mad Martigan's been boffing someone's missus, and then this guy called Lug, he comes in and he says to Mad Martigan, "What a breed!
Breed.
What?"
Now, I don't know about you, Stu, but that is the pickup line I've used with every woman I've ever met.
But that's how you got arrested.
That is how I got arrested. I just go to every woman and go, "Do you want to breed?"
Oh, it'd be funny if they said yes. Anyway, and at this point, Saoirse and Skeletor's army arrives, but then Mad Martigan's revealed to be a bloke to Luke, and then he starts a brawl. Then he inadvertently punches someone, and I think this is when we get, Mad Martigan's flirting a little bit with Saoirse, who is Joanne Whalley, who'd then go on to be his wife. And then
this is where Lug goes, "Not a woman, not a woman. I was almost gay. I must beat everybody up."
It's like those westerns where suddenly everyone in the bar is just fighting everyone for no reason.
Fuck it.
Why not?
I've had a few.
And then, Willow and Mad Martigan escape with the baby, and there's a big old chasing. So finally, after about 50 minutes or so, we actually get something interesting going on because the rest of it's just been blah, 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 talk, no, nothing, nothing. And then we get a good old chase scene on the horse and carriages with the da, 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 da.
I remember that bit very clearly. I remember that's this sequence I remember from when I was a child.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed this bit. I was like, okay, but they're very few and far between, these scenes. Like you said earlier, there's more action in the second half, but it just takes so long to get going. So, I still don't really care now. Yeah. So then what happens? Then, once all that's all over, then Willow's like, "You could have killed us. You don't do that to a baby."
Oh, God, this is his start of "you don't do that to a baby." It's just lots of this. The cart that they were on just fell apart. I've just written down shoddy, shoddy, shoddy. Bunch of cowboys.
Cowboys, Ted. They're a bunch of cowboys. Oh god. So then we get like scenes of Mad Martigan walking through the field and Willow's been, "Oh, you've got to help us." It's like, you didn't care earlier on. He's proven to be completely inept. Like, the baby was stolen from him. Why'd you not want his help? Oh dear. Then what happens? And then there's like scenes. Oh yeah, because
they stop and have like a little campfire.
That's right. Yeah. And then Willow's pissing around like doing magic. He's like, "Whoa!" Now I'm in a tree because he's messing around with that wand at the witch gate. No, not the witch. The fairy princess thing he gave him.
Like, "Mad Martigan, I'm in a tree." Whoa, hilarious. This is the bit where this is a weird line. I wrote this one down. It's this where Val Kilmer or Mad Martigan says, "Yeah, and I'm the king of Kashmir." It's like, wait, is Kashmir a place in this world? Where is this set?
Yeah, I couldn't work out if it's meant to be Earth or Middle Earth or where it's supposed to be. Like, I couldn't work it out. Oh dear. Then what happens? Then, do the camping bit. They're messing about, and then the Queen's proper pissed at them for not getting the baby. So presumably, just go back and get it again. And then she's going on about that bloody ritual again. Like, "Oh, I need to do it for the ritual."
It's
all
all of
of
her
them to
scenes
kill
are her
it.
seeing the same thing. She is very hammy, very,
Very.
very hammy. She was kind of Jean Marsh is her name, and she was it was a staple of BBC and ITV television from sort of this time. So she was in
Yeah.
Doctor Who and all that, and it her performance reeks of it. It reeks of Sunday night on the BBC. No, this is not a film performance. This is also the bit where her advisor goes, Saoirse may turn on you. She's like, no, I'm more worried about you. It's like, this is going to come back and bite you in the arse in about 20 minutes.
It doesn't though, does it? The Gary Oldman advisor doesn't do anything.
No, but her daughter does.
Yeah, fine.
Because he
Fine.
was like, yeah, anyway.
Anyway. Mad Martigan's feeding the baby black root for some reason. He starts
Yeah, you
becoming more and
don't
more
feed black root to a baby. It's like, oh, God.
such a
That whole
prick,
scene
though.
by the waterfall where that happens is completely pointless. They
Yeah,
stop by the waterfall, they have an
yeah,
argument about black root, which never comes to anything, and then they go to the next scene. It's like,
yeah.
what was that? What this film is 2 hours and 6 minutes long. This film is too long. This
There's
film
a
is
lot of stuff
20,
they could have
at
cut out.
least 20 minutes too long.
Yeah. But at this point, Mad Martigan and Willow then part ways. Oh, thank Christ, I'll stop arguing
This is
now.
the bit where he goes to leave, and Willow goes, "Man, Mardigan, thanks." I've written down 44 takes, and that was the best one.
Yes. Yeah, and then Willow sails away in a boat. Now, apparently there was a bit that was cut out where there was a fight with a fish man, and that's when he used one of his acorns or something, because he only actually uses two in this movie. You think what happened to the third one, but it's because of a deleted scene. That's why. At this point, once he's reached land, he meets Finn Raziel, who is some sort of possum, squirrel, muskrat thing, and you're made to believe that the Queen Bald had turned her into that for some reason instead of killing her, but she's some powerful sorceress just like the Queen. Or some shit. That's what I've written down. Or some shit.
Some shit.
Oh, yeah. And at this point, that's when Kale's army arrives and Mad Martigan's there. For some reason, I've written this down. They've taken the liberty of dressing him in much nicer clothes because earlier on he was still wearing the women's outfit for when he was dressed up in the tavern, and now they've given him much nicer clothes. Why would they do that?
This bit where they get there and they throw him off the horse, and then you hear someone off screen go, "I told you we'd find them without your help." So you added that line in later.
Indeed. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of shit in post production. Yeah. I'm deliberately not trying to reference them too much because they're so annoying, but we keep getting shots every now and again of the brownie just being like, bah, 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 saying something, and like no one reacting to what they're saying. Like, but
Right, because they're not there.
why are they in this film?
And the effects are pretty good.
Yeah, they're just fucking annoying, and there's no need
they're
for
pointless. Yeah, there's no need for them to be there.
Yeah. So Willow, Mad Martigan, and Raziel are being led away, very Fellowship of the Ring style. And this is the point then, it's very set piece, isn't it? We're here, and now we're here, and now we're here,
Now we're in
and
the
now we're
snow.
here. Yeah, now they're in the snow, and Willow and Mad Martigan are in cages, and the borrowers are trying to get them out unsuccessfully. And at this point, yeah, this is when Willow's trying to turn Raziel back to her human form, and he manages to turn him into a raven. It's like, you're just proving time and time again you're a shit sorcerer.
Question I had about about him turning her into a human form is why was he trying to do it while she was inside the cage? Well, it would have made more sense to transform her into a human form outside the cage so she could let them out of the cage.
And also, she was in the snow. She would have been very cold when she turned into a human form. It turns her into a raven, and then for some reason the borrowers then hit Mad Martigan with the love potion. For some reason, why?
Again, he does not fall in love with Warwick Davis.
Exactly. Well, straight away, why did he turn to her and go, hello? But he doesn't at all. Oh, God.
That would have been a very different film.
It would have. And then I can't remember if they break out the cages or the borrowers get them out of the cage, but somehow or another, Mad Martigan and Willow get out the cage. And instead of Mad Martigan just going to get the baby, he starts getting all horny around Saoirse in her tent, being a bit rapey with her, and starts saying there's some weird poetry to her or some shit. She starts being all conflicted, like, oh, I don't like you, but you're Val Kilmer, you're very handsome. And then what happens? Then Kale's army arrives again, and we have a load of sword fighting. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. So we've had like battle with the chariots. Now we're getting this. Like, okay, now we're getting into the action.
So I've written down here the henchmen run into Val Kilmer's sword and go, ah! They keep going like, mate, don't run into a sword, then you won't die.
No. And it's straight after all that fun. Then we have the sleigh thing. So I couldn't work if it's an actual sleigh where he just grabbed hold of a shield or something.
It's a shield.
It's a shield. Okay. So on the shield, they start, sledding away. It looks like tremendous fun. all over the mountains, and then big Mad Martigan goes flying off and then starts going into a big avalanche.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so ridiculous. But Willow's like, oh no, just slides into someone's house. I'm like, now where are they? Now they're in a village where X Army are for some reason.
Yeah,
Why are they here?
Ick is hanging out on a mountain in the snow with his army, and then Mad Martigan arrives as a giant snowball man. That made me laugh.
I thought it was ridiculous. And then suddenly the potion's worn off. He's like, I wasn't in love with Sorcerer. Oh no, I hate her. I want to break her leg or some shit like that.
But she is quite fit.
Yes, and I will marry her after this film. Yeah, and then Ek said they're still after they're after the Queen because her army defeated his army or some shit.
Yeah.
Again, not very well explained.
And he's still like, we will not help you.
No,
You are on your own.
but we might help you later. At what point? At this point, yeah, Sorcerer, Skeletor, and Co arrive, so they're hiding in a trap door. But even then, like Val Kilmer's being a bit quaw to Sorcerer, even though he literally just said earlier on, "No, I don't like her, are you?" And then they take her prisoner. I think at this point, yeah,
He takes her prisoner.
they take her prisoner, but then she very quickly escapes, like immediately.
Very, very quickly escapes, almost straight away.
Yeah, we get a little bit of flirting with them on the horse, and then she runs off, and then that's kind of the end of that. I'm like, oh, all right, that was pointless. And then what? Oh yeah, then Willow tries again to turn Raziel into a human form, but this time hilariously turns her into a goat. So the first of the film, she's gonna be like, nah!
Yeah, she's now talking like a goat. She didn't talk like a raven. Don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
No, so now she's talking like a goat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whilst also having a go at him, being like, you can do it. You're an idiot.
Wake up your mind. Yeah, because he's a really shit sorcerer. He just proves this time and time again you're a really shit sorcerer.
Well, he's not really good at anything. He doesn't do anything.
No,
He
he's
sort of
not.
stands there while stuff happens around him.
Yeah, well, Mad Martigan does all the heavy lifting. But yeah, so at this point they've arrived at really that Tir Asleen, I think this place is called. Yeah, it's cursed and people are frozen in statues, very much like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And and I've written down it's overrun with the monkeys from the Wizard of Oz.
Just without their wings. Yeah, these are
the
trolls,
trolls.
apparently. Trolls.
These are blokes in monkey suits. How are these trolls? Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
I remember being quite creeped out by the trolls when I was a kid.
I don't know why.
The bits where they're kind of creeping around under or climbing over the rocks and creeping under the bridge.
That was cool.
I remember that being quite creepy.
Yeah, that was a cool special effect. Yeah, and then we get another big old battle because Kale's army arrives and Mad Martigan and Willow are trying to fend them off with some very Home Alone looking traps, like his army going a load of crossbows. You're like, oh!
Which is the bit where Kale's army breaks in, and then what you get is all of their running around, but they're only fighting one man. Like, why are they all running around?
That's true. They're only fighting Mad Martigan. Although Willow manages to push a bunch of them through with a sword, like, yeah! He manages to kill about 3 of them. And then,
I mean, you'd be able to kill Willow very quickly.
Very quickly. Boot him off the bridge. Get out of here, you. And this bit really freaked me out because I don't even remember it. Willow shocks one of the monkeys, the trolls, sorry, with his wand, and it turns into this really horrible looking cocoon thing. And he's like, ugh! And he kicks it into the water, and yeah, it's disgusting. And then it just turns into this 2-headed dragon type thing, and then that starts attacking everyone. I was like, okay, this is getting kind of cool now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fucking shit up.
I remember this bit. I remember this bit very, very clearly, and I remember this bit being the end of the film.
Yeah.
This bit is not the end of the film. When this bit is over, there is another half an hour of film left to go, which feels really oddly like, again, it's built to this slowly and then very quickly, and then there's still more to come. I just don't get this film's pacing at all.
It could have ended here. Rather than this Tir Asleen bit, they could have just made their way to the Queen's castle and just had more of a battle there. This battle just seems insignificant. Why are you doing this? I can't even remember why they were going there anyway. Why were they going to Tir Asleen?
Because Tir Asleen is where Elora Danan was from.
Ah, right.
Like, she's the princess of Tir Asleen, so they're going to take her back there.
But it's all cursed. Yeah.
It's all cursed, and Queen Princess Mumby from Return to Oz has killed everyone.
Yeah, she was good in Return to Oz. I like Return.
She was good in. She was.
Perhaps we should cover Return to Oz.
Oh, perhaps. It's very dark.
It is. At this point, we get another bit where he's trying to fend off the monkeys and whoever else. He tries to use an acorn, he ends up dropping one. Oh, you're fucking useless, Willow. You're absolutely useless.
So I remember he used the acorn on the dragon.
Well, he
I
throws it
remember when
at
I
it
was a
or
kid,
something.
he threw it in its mouth and it turns the thing to stone, and that's how I remember this ending. And I must have completely made that up because that's
Yeah, I
not
don't
what
know.
happens at all.
No, Mad
Um,
Mardigan kills it, doesn't he? I think he just like stabs it or something, and then it dies.
he puts his sword through its mouth so it can't breathe fire, and then it
That's
tries
right.
to breathe fire and its head blows up. I think is
So,
what. Luckily, that dragon can't leave the little pool it's stuck in for budget reasons.
yeah, exactly. It's
It
just going.
can't
"Arr,
leave
arr."
there.
And at this point, the Sorcerer arrives and inexplicably turns good, just starts like, getting off a Mad Mark. Why? Why have you suddenly decided to go good? Apart from Val Kilmer's very handsome. Why? Why? Makes no
Yeah, makes
sense.
absolutely no sense whatsoever. She fell in love with him super quick. Even the bit back at the camp where he was trying to woo her, she was into it. But you're meant to be helping your evil sorcerer mum kill this child and then take over the world? I question mark. I'm not entirely sure. Does she already control the world? Question mark. Don't really know. Who knows what's going on?
Who knows?
Um, and after this point, I think she has about 3 lines of dialogue for the rest of the film.
Yeah, she does very
She
little.
doesn't do anything after this. It's like, oh, she's
No,
now kissed Val Kilmer. That's it. Her role's over.
thank you, Joanne Wally.
I mean, there's little bits with her character which just didn't make any sense. Like right from the beginning, her character doesn't make any sense. But it's like, why didn't they like leave the reveal of her being gorgeous till later? Like, why did you see her straight away? Why didn't they have her under a mask for most of
Yeah,
it? And then when
exactly.
she takes her mask, I was like, oh, she's a bit of all right, um, or whatever Val Kilmer would say in that situation.
Yeah,
Um, Instead, no, she's just very attractive all the way through. You know, oh, well, she's not going to stay evil then because that's not how these films work. She's clearly the love interest,
exactly. But yeah, and then during all
unless
this,
it's going to be a big twist and he's going to fall in love with General Kale.
or Willow,
Oh,
he loved
Pat
him all
Roach,
along.
yeah, he did. It's you I've loved, Willow.
It's always been you. Oh,
I'll take your one ring.
enough. Right. And during
All
all this
right.
tomfoolery, Kale was kidnapped the baby and it rides back to the castle, which is Knockmar Castle. That's it. And then
Knockmar. Knockmar.
finally, ex-army decide to arrive once all the wild work's been done. They're like, "Oh, we're here." Well, there's no need. And then they will decide, "Oh, we won't go now. We'll get some kit. We'll go in the morning instead." Why? The baby might be
Luckily,
killed.
luckily, the ritual to send the baby's soul back to the third dimension, or whatever the hell it's doing, takes about 3 days.
Oh, it takes forever, doesn't it? Because yeah, she orders the preparation of it, and then there's more ordering of the preparation, and then more steps, and more of this, and more of that. Jesus Christ, just
I
do
wrote
something else.
down on the subject of sorcerer. I wrote down just before Iak and his army turn up. Is she just starts fighting her own men, and they're like, right. And then when the other army arrives, they will arrest you for war crimes
Yeah,
because you were a general in the opposing army and you've probably killed countless of women and babies in the search for that one baby. You're not a good person.
not at all. Yeah, but anyway, it's just a film.
It's
Uh,
just a film.
yeah, that's my get
I
out.
know it'd be really dark if the last half an hour was just her on trial for war crimes and then getting hung.
Yeah, participation. And then yeah, at this point, the darkest point of the film for me,
Oh
Willow.
yeah, I knew
Oh
you'd hate
my
this bit.
god, I hate this bit. So Willow and Co. and X Army arrive at Knockmar Castle, and then the Queen just basically casts a spell to turn them all into pigs. She goes, "You're pigs! You're all pigs!" Now I remember this bit wrongly. I remember it being probably like that battle before. There was a big old battle going on. The Queen realised they're losing, so then she turned them all to pigs to try and stop them. This is just they just turn up and out of nowhere. She goes, "Yeah, you're all pigs," and just turns them into pigs. But this just comes out of
I only
nowhere.
remember Mad Martigan being turned into a pig. I didn't remember
I
anybody else
remember
being
that.
turned into a pig. I
I
remember him.
remember that
I didn't remember
distinctly.
it was everybody else as well. Also,
And yeah,
I just
go on.
no, just to skip back just very quickly, just before they get there, the Queen Bab Morda says to a sorcerer, "Where's Saw?" She goes, "She's turned against you." He goes, "Turned against me?" And that's what the sorcerer's what about. Yeah, it's kind of like what I said would happen, but no, fine,
you,
Bab.
you never
No,
listen to
don't listen
me.
to me. Don't listen to me. No, it's fine. No.
Oh, Gary Oldman. And then yeah, no, I distinctely remember Val Kilmer turning into the pig because I remember like all his hand starts turning into like a pig's trotter and all that. And I remember that as a kid being like, "Oh, that's horrible!" And he's getting all the tusks, and then his head goes down, it comes back up, and it's all like mutiny. It's like, oh, it's horrible. Then you see people lying around, they're kind of half human, half pig, and all their stomachs look disgusting. I'm like, oh, horrible. Like, I absolutely hate people turning into things in films, whether it's like Total Recall where they're suffocating or that.
You hate that bit. Or the RoboCop melty man.
No, that didn't actually bother me that much. I just thought that was cool. But no, there are
Uh,
certain things I don't like when people turn into really repulsive things on films and they've got no chance of turning back. I was like, oh, it's just really upsetting. Like even that bit in Super Mario Brothers when he turned into the Goombas, that's horrible. Why would you do that?
yeah, that bit always disturbed me. Did they change him back later? They must
I
have
hope
changed
so.
him back later.
I hope so. But then, yeah, Willow doesn't get turned into a pig because he's been sodding about with his wand, like just whirring it around or whatever.
I mean,
That
when you
makes
put
him
it like
immune.
that, it sounds very dodgy. It's like Willow off good, just knocking one out whilst everybody else is getting turned into a pig. Kind of comes back like, sorry guys, I was busy in the tent by myself with that goat. Oh, you're all pigs.
And my wand. But during all this, he's managed to turn that goat back into a lady, but she turns into like a tortoise and a tiger and something else, and then finally she turns back into her human form. And I got confused at first. I was like, is that the midwife from the beginning? Oh, no, she got mauled by the dogs. Like,
Yeah, she's dead.
she's way dead. And then yeah, that's the bit you said when Willow comes outside and sees they're all pigs, so he just lets the pigs into the tent. And the next thing you get, they've all just been turned back. I was like, this thing was just pointless. You just put
Yeah,
this in
utterly
literally to
pointless.
revolt people. That's all you've done.
Yeah. Also, she seems to be turning them back one at a time. That would have
Yeah,
taken forever.
there's like 400 of them.
Yeah, come on.
That's you. That's you.
And then the 15 minutes where we don't see the bit where they're all wandering around finding their clothes.
Yeah, I was going to say, are they all just 400 men in the nip? Yeah,
and one woman.
yeah, because Joanne Wally turns into one as well. Because her mother's like, "Oh no, you betrayed me. You can become one as well." Um, yeah, and she's about to start the ritual, and she's bandaged herself up like a mummy.
Yeah, I did that. I was like, why is she dressed like a mummy?
It doesn't make
But
any sense.
Mum Ra. She's just.
But then she starts getting older and older and older for no fucking reason.
What? Yeah, what? I just. See, this is where I was kind of watching this and I thought, had I missed something? Because
No.
it's explained at the beginning that Elora Danan will end the reign of the Queen, right? Get that. At no point do they explain what this ritual is and what it's trying to achieve and what she stands to gain from doing it rather than just killing the baby. I mean, you're in a very tall tower, just whoop. And then also, then why does she start getting old? Like, is she already meant to be really old and like killing babies keeps her young? I thought maybe that's it, but
Like
that
a
doesn't make any
hocus
sense
pocus type thing. Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't make any sense because her daughter is young.
And
So that
hot.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, you said it. Yeah, no, couldn't make
It's,
head nor tail of it.
it's weird. And she's washing herself with blood and all that sort of stuff. It's weird. And then,
Oh,
then
I
we
was
gone.
I was put here with Willow when he was doing the spells to turn like the spell that he does to turn her into a human is different every time he does it.
Yeah, because he keeps fucking it up.
Yeah, but it's completely different every time he does it.
Yeah,
Like it's
I don't
not
know.
the same thing. He's not saying the same thing at all. And also, who taught him all these spells?
Yeah, you'd think Raziel, the person who's got me turned back, would just say these words and I'll turn
Yeah.
back.
Or you'd have like a little bit of an Obi-Wan Kenobi moment where she's teaching him how to use the wand as like a raven. But no,
No,
any
none
of
of
that
that.
because we
None of
needed
that.
more of the brownies titting about.
I hate those brand. I'm deliberately not mentioning them again because they're just annoying me.
As
Yeah.
I've just turned the page and seen on my note, why doesn't she just smash the baby's head in?
Yes, that's a
Probably
massive
get rid of
plot
this
hole.
notebook.
Indeed. Yeah, then the soldiers are fully clothed, and Willow's like, I've got a plan. And I've just written, shut up, Willow. It's annoying.
Yes, it's like we've got gophers on our farm. It's like he's digging. He means digging. Just get because they're like, what do you mean? It's like, well, oh god, can't you work it out? Fucking idiots.
So stupid. And then we get Raziel as a human standing there going, oh, this will be a day you'll always remember. I'm very proud of you. And then somehow or another, they've managed to hide all of these soldiers and their horses in holes with sheets over them. And they all come out and go, ah!
They've dug a hole and all got in there, and all the people standing on the ramparts have looked over and gone, what are they doing? Oh, they're digging holes. And they're putting sheets over and they're all getting in. Oh.
Turn around. Turn around.
Turn
around.
Just turn around. And then they like turn around and they turn back and go, oh, they've gone. They must have all just up and left apart from the old bird and Willow, the little man. Right, let's see what. Let's open the gates. Nothing could possibly go wrong here. Let us open the gates and go out and arrest them.
Yeah. But things do go wrong because they
Also,
stormed the castle.
With Fimrizel's like, she can't harm you again because plot reasons.
Yeah.
Because otherwise she just turn you all into pigs in a minute and that'd be the end of it.
Yeah. Apparently that spell is irreversible. But yeah, but then this battle's actually good. We've got hot oil being poured onto people. There's sword fights. People getting their throats slit. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. I like
Before
this.
that, bloodthirsty bastard.
Yeah.
Like this bit where they just before they go into the battle when they're waiting outside and they're kind of come and get them, and she turns to Willow and goes, "Your children will come to remember this day." It's like, they fucking won't. They're not here.
And he's going to come
about?
back and talk about this morbid shit. He's just going to come back.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
killed it. I jumped a load of boiling oil on people. That was pretty sweet.
Oh, but yeah, during amongst all this boiling oil and fighting, Willow, Saoirse, and Raziel confront Bath Mulder in the ritual chamber. They have this old lady fight. And it goes on for like 20 minutes and they're just beating the shit out of each other.
I was like, this is the end of a summer blockbuster, and you've got old women beating each other up.
During all this carnage.
I've written down here 2 old women fighting over a stick. I've seen those films.
Oh. Oh, and during all this, for some reason, they managed to animate a piece of furniture, and it reminded me of the sugar container in the Sword of the Stone, the one that kept bouncing around. And then Willow's fighting this piece of furniture and manages to throw it out the window. I was like, what a hero you are.
See, I thought when it went out the window, I was like, oh, it's going to land on Kale. Because at that point, Val Kilmer and Kale are fighting.
Yeah.
Like, the table's at nope.
No, that piece of furniture just goes out the window. That's it.
I was a bit with Saoirse goes, I won't let you kill that child. Like, why not? Why didn't you give a shit about 20 minutes ago?
It's just a film. And then at this point, Kyle kills Eric. Oh no, not Eric. And then Mad Mark goes, I will avenge you, Eric. I was like, why? He didn't want to help you earlier on.
Yeah, he's been nothing but horrible to you this entire time.
Yeah.
You know, Eric, Daniel O'Herlihy ended up one of his future roles. He's dead now. Was the old and corrupt sheriff in the unnecessary horror sequel, The Descent Part 2.
Oh, I did not know that. I think I've seen that movie once, and I'll probably never watch it again.
It's awful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Mad Martin has a really good old fight with Vic, and he like whacks him right at his mask and knocks it off. Like, oh, that's cool. And then he stabs him with his own sword, stabs him some more, and then he pulls him down onto his sword. Oh, damn. He died hard.
Yeah. Eric is played by Pat Roach, who was in all of the Indiana Jones films.
He was
being killed by Indiana Jones in a variety of different ways.
Wasn't he one who goes into the propeller as well?
He's the one who goes into the propeller blades. He's the lead Indian thuggy in the second one. So he's not Indian.
No. Oh God. So yeah, not Ek. Kale's dead. Then at this point, Bavmord is able to restrain Raziel and Bavmord and Saoirse with some shit magic, I don't know. And then we get the bit again where Willow tries to use the acorn. I thought, oh, finally, this is going to be the payoff. And he throws it at the Queen, and it just kind of goes in her hand. She's kind of like, nah, just gets rid of it. Like, what was the point of these acorns? There is literally no payoff with it.
Even what I read about the deleted scene is it's even useless in the deleted scene. He drops it on his boat, and it causes his boat to sink.
Yeah.
Yeah, utterly useless.
Gwildor gave him some utterly useless shit. Yeah.
Fuck you, Gwildor. Take your comic key and stick it up your ass.
Yeah. So then Willow then uses that crap magic trick from earlier to fool the Queen that he's made the baby disappear. She's on being like, no, no, no. And then inexplicably lightning hits her and she just kind of floats away, just like some Wizard of Oz shit, like a melting. Just
so strange. So strange.
It's so bizarre. And then Willow's like, oh, it's not real. Look, it's a trick. Ah! And then
I just put it behind this thing. I literally just put the baby down behind this rock, and she didn't think to look behind the rock.
Can you turn around?
Yeah. Well, all right. It's highly unusual, but I will.
Then it's pretty much over. We get celebrations outside, like the end of A New Hope. And then Willow's gifted a spell book by Raziel, Magic for Dummies or something like that. And then I suppose at this point, Mad Martin and Saoirse are in love and are probably going to get married. And then, yeah, Willow returns to the Shire on Little Sebastian.
Puts him on the horse as if to say, right, off you fuck. You've been cock-blocking me for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, on Little Sebastian. Right, go on, off you go. Come on.
Yeah. He arrives back on the Shire on that majestic beast, and he's hailed as a hero, and everyone's running up to him. It's like, why are you hailing him as a hero? How do you know he didn't just walk down the road and go, yeah, just give the baby, just come back? He doesn't know what he's been up to.
He'd be like, yeah, oh no, I killed that baby. Killed it and ate it.
And then
And then
he
his
does.
wife comes out, like everyone else is there greeting him, and his wife's the last one to turn up. She's like, I've got better shit to do.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that was the other thing. Just before he goes into the castle early for that battle, he looks at his wife's hair. Oh yeah, that's there. He does
Right, I've
nothing.
got some hair. Good stuff.
Oh, and then just before we finish, Willow does a magic trick where he turns an apple into a bird, and the bird shits on that arsehole landlord. And then the film ends.
And we all think about what we did.
So yeah, that was Willow. 2 hours and 6 minutes of Willow. Yeah, I feel like I've been on the adventure they had as well. Don't know about you. Right. So let's go back. So back in 1993, when you had your KFC on a Saturday night, what did you love about it back then, or what did you hate about it, or how did you feel? How did you feel about Willow back then?
I enjoyed it when I was younger, as I recall. I remember very clearly sort of certain sequences. The two-headed dragon, I remember. I remember the chase sequence in the cart. I remember the brownies, and I actually remember being fairly fond of the brownies when I was a kid. I thought they were very funny. I mean, I was 6.
Yeah, fair, fair.
Um, and I think, at 6 years old, your critical faculties extend to it's bright, it's loud, it's fun, it's got sword and sorcery. It's one of those things that you just like as a kid. I just remember being rather swept up with it and finding it interesting. I think I probably got it conflated with Star Wars to some degree and probably got them all mixed up in my head a little bit. As you tend to do with these things. I'm sure there's probably, I watched Dragon Slayer at some point and there'll be scenes in that where I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. I thought that was in Willow. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I just thought, it was fairly entertaining for a child. Keeps you fairly entertained. How about yourself?
I don't remember too much about it. I remember that pig bit, Jesus, and I didn't like that. But I just think I liked it. It was just like a swashbuckling, fun adventure movie, and I thought Warwick Davis was quite fun in it. I didn't this time. I thought he was well annoying, but yeah, it's interesting though how you and I we've got similar film tastes, but this isn't one we revisited. You know, like stuff like you mentioned earlier, Who Framed Roger
Mm,
Rabbit and Back
mm.
to the Future and shit like that. Like you'd watch those maybe over and over again. Why was this one just kind of a watch once? Oh, okay, and that's it kind of thing. You know, so it kind of made
Yeah,
that much of an impression of us. Oh, I want to see that again. It's awesome. You know,
I would have seen it more than once as a child, but there would have been a point where I stopped watching it, or where I just
right?
didn't feel the need to revisit it. Whereas there are other films that I would have, gone back to time and time again. And I don't know what that is. I don't know whether it's quality. I don't know whether or not it's something that works for both adults and children. So the majority of good films, or especially good PG or good U-rated films, are films that work for kids and adults on slightly different levels, or
Mhm.
on the same level but have a certain amount of deftness to the way they portray the characters and the way they
Yeah,
portray the narrative arcs and the way that they frame it. This feels um, sort of first drafty. It feels clumsy. It feels. I think I say that a lot. The things we watch feel first drafty,
yeah,
but it feels clumsy. It feels like they've not put a lot. They put too much thought into some things and not enough thought into other things.
yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Well, actually, that leads quite nicely in. So, what did you love or hate about it now, or were indifferent to now?
So that's an interesting one. This because I was watching it and I was fairly for the first hour fairly bored. I didn't hate it. I
Mm,
wasn't sitting there going, "Oh, this is terrible. This is rubbish." No, it was just sort of fairly generic sword and sorcery, pseudo epic that I could take or leave. Because something you'd stick on in the background. I was
yep.
saying to my other half, like if I had kids and I was showing it to them, I'd be more than happy to stick a kid in front of it and go, "Watch that, shut up." Um, but I was still impressed with certain bits. So, say the opening narrate, the opening sort of this is what's going on isn't enough to get you
No.
into the world. And at
Nope.
no point does it make any attempt to give you access to the world. Everything they say, we're talking about Tyr's lean and Finn Rizal, what the hell are you talking about?
Yep.
Like it's not enough just to explain that away. Um, so that's not good enough in the way that it brings you in. It's not good enough in the way that the villains are hammy and underwritten. Like you never know what she's up to. Like the villain, what does she want? Apart from to
Exactly.
kill that baby, what does she actually want? You don't really know. She's very hammy. She's very thinly sketched. All of them are. The main henchman, General Kale. I mean, what's his deal? Like, there's no character there. There's none.
No.
He's
No.
just a
That.
man in a skull mask. He's a henchman,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not a good one. But at the same time, you can only watch it and you think, right, the sets are well made. There's
Yep.
clearly a lot of thought and a lot of work's gone into that. The intention behind it of casting little people in the numbers that they did is very admirable, I think, and
Definitely.
very and I can see what they were trying to do, and I can see. I mean, George Lucas has always been very good at that. The physical world building is great.
Hmm.
The artistry on display there is great. Um, some of the performances are good. Val Kilmer's good.
Yeah.
Like quite happily watch him do that character. That's he's it's like it's nothing to him. Like Billy Barty's always welcome for a 5 minute stint. And the second half is better than the first half. It
Mm.
is better. It's less boring, and actually, it's quite entertaining to watch. It's weird because by no means is it bad. I don't think. I wouldn't say it's necessarily very good, but it's just in effect. It's just sort of there. And I think
Yeah.
that's not enough for the strength of the films that came out, and the strength of the films of the people involved in this. I mean, everything from James Horner and his scores, through to George Lucas and the Star Wars films, through to Ron Howard,
Yeah.
who's a bizarre choice for director for this, but was quite early in his career, so you can see he's kind of learning on the job. They've all done better stuff, and the quality of the stuff that they've done says that this isn't good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. No, agreed. Agreed. There's other stuff to like. I mean, the cinematography is really good. Some of the
That's
shots of
beautiful.
Willow it's really, really nice. Yeah, like you said, Val Kilmer looks like he's having a whale of a time in it. Sorry, you're going to say something.
I was going to say on the effects point, actually, the matte paintings and the use of matte paintings in this is really, really good. And in
Yeah.
fact, you can't necessarily tell where they've got them. And some of the sort of interiors that they've done up with effects look really nice as well. Like the throne rooms are all
Mhm.
sort of augmented, similar to how they did Master of the Universe, actually. And that was some of the best stuff in Master of the Universe as well, as those matte paintings that they did. So yeah, it's really good.
No, definitely. The music sour's good. Some special effects are good. As much as I hated it, the pig bit is really good. As much as I hated it, I go, it's very impressive.
Mm.
Do you know what? Even silly, the baby's acting's quite good. They do get some good shots of her and stuff, like
They get
reacting to
too
stuff
many
and stuff
shots
like
of her
that.
though. There's
Yeah.
too much of that every fucking 5 minutes. It's the baby's cooing. It says, oh god, who cares?
Yeah. The Warwick Davis acting is shameful.
He's not good.
It's not good. He's just a very annoying character anyway. He's very whiny. He's very annoying. Like you're made to believe Val Kilmer's the shit, and I'm like, no, actually, I think Willow's the shit. Val Kilmer, he's a bit of an arse at the start, but then he becomes the hero at the end. But it's just,
Well, Val Kilmer is Han Solo. That is his entire character arc.
yeah, yeah. I think we mentioned everything else. That all the films it's ripped off and it's source material, and follows similar beats to Star Wars, and as you said, very, very much underwritten villains. It's what do they stand for? Why are they
Yeah,
here? What do you
you,
want?
you get no sense of the world around them. You keep saying, "Oh, they destroyed this castle and they've had this battle," and we don't see any of it. You
Yeah,
don't get any sense of what's going on outside of Willow, and then maybe that's intentional, but I don't necessarily think that it is.
no. Right, moving swiftly on. Smith trivia. What do you got for a
Bit of
Smith
a Smith
quiz?
trivia. Wow. So yeah, this was an interesting one. This because I was looking into it. So apparently it was the largest ever casting call for little people at the time, and they
Yep.
casting 225 and 240 actors, including in an uncredited cameo as one of the band members in The Village. Kenny Baker is in there very briefly.
R2D2 himself.
R2D2 himself.
That's awesome.
A lot of them lived on the set, so they built the set just outside Wales.
Wow.
In Wales, and a lot of them lived on that set for about 2 weeks. So the whole thing has this lived-in feel, and you get that sense that
Yeah.
these. George Lucas first had the idea for the film back in 1972. Apparently, that was when he
Wow.
first came up with the idea, and he kind of sat on it until after Return of the Jedi, and he met Warwick Davis, and he said, "All right, I've got something for you, and I'm going to write this role specifically for you. I think you're great, and I think you've got a good career ahead of you." I mean, yeah. Ron Howard as director still made him audition,
Oh wow.
though, so he still had to convince Ron Howard. Ron Howard, I think, looks back fondly on the film from what I've read, although he did at one point say that he didn't really direct it; it was more George Lucas.
I
He
believe
was
that.
just obviously, it's the thing about the devil dogs. So yeah, this is a bit about Saoirse, and there was as well as the kind of the famous deleted scene in the river where he gets attacked by a giant fish man. Saoirse's character had more in the original draft as well. So her father is apparently the king of Tir Asleen,
Hmm.
and when they get to Tir Asleen, and you've got the people all in the sort of not Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe icebox,
Yeah, yeah.
one of them is her dad.
Oh,
And
okay.
when she sees him, it's what convinces her to turn against her mother because she doesn't know what happened to her father, and so she finds out her mum has frozen him, and that's what convinces her to turn good, not just the sexual charms of Val Kilmer.
Why not
Um,
just include that? That's a good plot
exactly,
point.
he's in it still at the
Yeah,
end when they're all kind of standing around doing the end of um,
A New
A
Hope.
New Hope. I mean, George Lucas loves his films to end with people getting a medal and a clap on the
Yeah,
back and a bunch of people cheering. We've all done a great job. End of. He's in there, so the character is there still. Her dad is meant to be. He's the old man that's there. Is meant to be her dad, which he's never explained, which would give more to her character than just, oh, I'm going to turn good now for no absolutely no reason.
yeah, agreed.
The film was originally going to be called Munchkins.
Oh my
That was the
God.
original title. They changed that
Oh, what a terrible name.
for
But
obvious.
why? Because
Yeah,
it's only about one little person, really, because the rest of them fuck off back to the Shire.
well, exactly. That's probably why they changed it. Um, Originally, nobody wanted to finance the film. Sword and sorcery epics like Dragon Slayer, Labyrinth, Neverending Story, all that kind of stuff had done very, very badly. Legend had done very badly at the box office, and so nobody wanted to finance it. What helped was that Alan Ladd Jr. had gone to MGM. Now, Alan Ladd Jr. had previously, his old studio, produced Star Wars,
Mhm.
and basically said to George Lucas, "Whatever you bring to me, I will do because you did Star Wars. You've
Fair
made
enough.
me richer than I could possibly imagine. I will help you." Um, so that's how it got financed. It didn't do very well. It made what 135 million off 35 million budget, which is better. It's a profit, but
Hmm.
it's still not good. It's still not what those films should be making
No,
at that time.
no, I agree.
Um, Interesting other little bits. John Cusack originally auditioned for the role of Mad Martigan.
That wouldn't have worked.
No, it would have worked at all, as
No.
did Matt Frewer, original Max Headroom himself. The morphing stuff for the Finn Rizal morphing from different animals, one
Mhm.
into the other, was created specifically for the film. So
Ah,
that tech was new for the film. They created it to get around that problem. It was then later used as the basis for all of the effects in Jurassic Park and other films. So this film really sort of is a bridge between Star Wars and the sort of inception of computer techniques and then that next bit forward before you start getting into that stuff in the early 90s where it's properly developed.
got you.
And so that's the only other interesting bit I've got is so there is a lot of digs taken at this film against film critics.
Yep.
General Kale is named directly after the critic Pauline Kael,
Hmm.
and the giant two-headed monster is called the Ebosisk and is named after Siskel and Ebert. The look of it is modelled after Clint Howard.
That's
So Ron
amazing.
Howard liked to put his brother in films, couldn't find a role for him. Although I don't know how you could have put him anywhere in this film and it would have
Yeah.
been fine. I mean, some of them are doing American accents, so it's not that. So he modelled the two-headed monster after his brother. His brother is not a good-looking man, but that is cruel.
That's very cruel, yeah. Interesting.
Um, and I think that's everything. I've got something else I've written down here, but I cannot for the life of me read my writing.
No worries. I'm sure it was witty and funny. Cool. All right. So the final verdict, Smith. Does it hold up?
Um, mm, ugh, I don't know. This is a really difficult one because I didn't hate it. It's a bit boring. Not bad. Yes, yes, it does. I think it does. I think it does. Just it would be an easy thing to put on in the background on a Sunday afternoon and not be too offensive.
Hmm.
And what do you think?
No, it doesn't. I'm
No.
sorry. I know people love this movie. I just didn't enjoy it. I was bored. It was confusing. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I wasn't even drunk when I was watching this. I was stone cold sober and I did not know what was going on. I was very bored and I just didn't get it, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, some of the fight scenes are fun and there's some adventure stuff, but it just takes too long to get going. And the acting is just woeful. It's only really Val Kilmer's acting that's really good. He brings a lot of
Oh,
charm to this movie. But I'm sorry. For me, it does not hold up.
no. Whereas I think on balance it does.
Well, you're
I
wrong. It
think the
doesn't hold up.
intention behind it, the art. I think the intention behind it, the artistry behind it, and yeah, I just think it's fine.
It could have been so much better, though. I think if you chopped half an hour off, chopped off some other stupid shit, inserted some of that stuff we said earlier, like some deleted scenes, would have made more sense. I think it would have been a better film. But for me, it's just too long and
Oh, there's a
convoluted.
better film. There's a better film in there. There's a
Yeah,
better film in there.
yeah.
Um, Weirdly, I've not seen the sequel series that they made.
I don't want to. I've not heard
Um,
good
well,
things.
you can't now. They've taken it off. So it was on Disney Plus, created for Disney Plus. They put it up there. It didn't do as well as they'd hoped. They've pulled it completely. You can't watch it anywhere now. And because
Wow.
by doing that, they don't have to pay anyone that's in it royalties and can use it as a tax write-off.
My God. So it's gone in the vault somewhere, never to be
It's gone
seen
in the
again.
vault somewhere, never to be seen again. But that's what torrents are for.
Indeed, indeed. But you didn't hear that from us.
Nope.
Cool. All right. So now it's your turn. Next
Yeah.
episode's nomination. What are you picking for us?
So I'm gonna take us forward in time by a few years,
Okay.
and I'm going to pick a film that I legitimately, again, haven't seen. I mean, I say that as if I'm somehow revealing that some of these films we may have seen more recently than we'd like to pretend. I haven't seen this film in a long, long time, and I have a sneaking suspicion that it's really not going to hold up.
Go on.
We are going back to the catchphrase generating film of Jim Carrey, The Mask.
Okay. Cool. We've done 1994 already, but that's fine. I think that film does need to be revisited because I'm sure it's going to be annoying as piss.
It's really fucking annoying, isn't it?
But yes, well, my wife will not watch this with me. She hates Jim Carrey, any form of Jim Carrey. I said, no, come on, there's the Truman Show. He's good in that. But no, she just want to watch it. Okay, The Mask it is. We shall be covering that next. No worries. Great then. So, last bit of housekeeping before we get out of here. Do you want to plug our socials? So you can reach us on email at itdoesn'tholduppodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram at itdoesn'tholduppodcast. We're on Twitter, or X as it's now known, at doesn'tholduppod. We're on YouTube at It Doesn't Hold Up Podcast, and we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all other good places you listen to podcasts. And remember, please do give us a good review on all your podcast platforms. And remember, we welcome all suggestions for stuff to cover. So yes, that was Willow. Have you got anything further you would like to say about Willow?
No, nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Cool. Well, until next time we regroup to cover The Mask, I just want to say to you all, now get out of here before I throw this acorn at you and turn you to stone.